Our next guest has her comedy special, Therapy, available now on YouTube, making her Tonight Show debut. Please welcome the very funny Katie Boyle.
Happy St. Patrick's Day! I am from Ireland, and I'm here to tell you it is way easier to date in this country as an Irish man than it is an Irish woman, because we are from a roasting culture, which is flirting, and American women are like, yeah, roast me. But when we do it to American men, they cry. I'm also used to fighting an Irish man for the bill, but him still paying for the bill. And I was on a date here with an American. I was like, oh, would you like me to pay? And he goes, okay. I was like, who raised you? I did go on to date him for a few years. And when he showed me engagement rings, they were only $300. I didn't mind that. I just minded that he owed me $500. I was like, is this proposal coming with $200? And then he said, I'm not going to propose until you let me call you baby. I was like, excuse you, I paid for the rent this month. You can call me madame. A lot of women want to date Irish men now because they think they're so romantic because Hosier is doing awful propaganda for them. I promise you, Hosier's missus is listening to those songs being like, who you crawling out of the grave for? You never said that to me. I have a fiancé from Ireland now. We used to date when we were younger, and when we got back together later in life, he said, I always felt you were a missed opportunity. I was like, let's tell people you felt I was the one that got away because you're making me sound like Bitcoin. I hate the stereotypes that are put on Irish people, but then I go home to my grandfather and I'm like, ooh, this is what they're talking about. He's a Catholic, he's a farmer, he grows his own potatoes because he's like, we'll never let it happen again. He's worn a Peaky Blinders hat every day of his life. I don't know if he's hair on the top of his head. His name is Seamus. He's like propaganda the Brits would have used against us. He doesn't understand my Gen Z sister, and when she was telling me she was being gaslit at school, he got such a fright he thought someone had tried to set her afire. Then when she explained what gaslighting is, he looked like he would have preferred if someone had tried to set her afire. He hates that we don't speak Irish as a first language, so I've been relearning it, and it made me realise we're very dramatic as a people. If you want to say I'm hungry in Irish, it's to uckras urim, but then it translates back into English as the hunger is on me. That is the most famine head way to say that. My grandfather is from Lump.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing something a little different. Usually we break down NBA drama, heated debates, and controversial calls. But today is St. Patrick's Day week, and we are celebrating with one of the funniest stand-up sets I have seen in a long time. Katie Boyle is an Irish comedian. She made her Tonight Show debut, and she absolutely crushed it. Let me show you what I mean. Roll the clip. Did you catch that? Let me break down why this set was so good. First, she talks about dating in America. She says Irish people come from a roasting culture. That's what they call flirting. They roast each other. American women love it. They're like, yeah, roast me. But when Irish women try to roast American men, they cry. That's a brutal observation, and it is so true. There's a cultural mismatch. What's playful in Dublin comes across as aggressive in New York. Then she talks about the bill. In Ireland, she's used to fighting an Irish man for the bill, but he still ends up paying. Then she goes on a date with an American guy, and she says, would you like me to pay? And he says, okay. Her response is perfect. Who raised you? But here's the kicker. She dated him for years. He showed her engagement rings that were only $300. She didn't care about that. She cared that he owed her $500. She says, is this proposal coming with $200? That is comedy gold. Then she talks about Irish stereotypes, and she admits they exist for a reason. She goes home to her grandfather, and she's like, oh, this is what they're talking about. He's a Catholic farmer. He grows his own potatoes because, in her words, well, never let it happen again. That's a famine joke. That's dark. That's exactly the kind of humor that works. His name is Seamus, and she says, he's like propaganda the Brits would have used against us. Then she tells the story about her Gen Z sister and the word gaslit. Her grandfather gets frightened because he thinks someone tried to set her on fire. Then when she explains what gaslighting actually is, he looks like he would have preferred if someone had tried to set her on fire. That is a perfect generational joke. It lands every time. And then the best part. Her grandfather came to New York for the first time 25 years ago. He saw two men kissing. And he didn't say, "That's wrong." He didn't get angry. He said, "Oh, I didn't know we could do that." That's such a sweet and surprising moment. And then she takes it even further. She says in this reality, her grandfather has been married to the same woman for 70 years in Longford. But in a different reality, he is a gay man in New York. That's such a beautiful, open-minded, and hilarious way to end the bit. Katie Boyle is a star. Her special is on YouTube. You should go watch it. She has the ability to take stereotypes, generational differences, cultural misunderstandings, and turn them into comedy that feels honest and not mean. I want to know what you think. Do you have a family member who uses Gen Z words incorrectly? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. And subscribe if you want to stay locked in. We are building something real here. See you next time. Peace.